Weitzman, according to multiple league sources, Kyrie Irving has yet to receive a vaccine shot. Both the Nets and a spokeswoman for Irving declined to comment on the record about Irving's vaccination status. Would you rather have vaccinated Simmons or unvaccinated Kyrie? They both taking 0 shots, but one might play defense, I guess. That's a clap emoji from me. Clapping hands. The All-NBA anti-vaccine team is no joke. Stockton Wiggins, Kyrie Porter Jr. I almost want to add Schroeder and LeBron, but aren't they vaccinated now? I think LeBron is the one guy in the NBA that could totally get away with not doing it, arena requirement or not. According to Pelinka just today, every single Laker will be vaccinated by opening day. That doesn't include GMs though. If you had asked me whether Kyrie was vaccinated, my answer would have been that he has either 0 shots or 9 shots with no in between. I could also see him saying that he consulted a shaman or something, and took some herbal remedy that he believes protects him. Steve Jobs would be proud. Keywords are would be. John Cena destroys Steve Jobs from the top rope. Weird, he's always seemed so even-keeled. Stable basketball genius. A beautiful basketball mind. Irving equilibrium. On brand TBH. For some who does his own research and thinks for himself, KY sure does fall in line with the other side of scientific consensus a heck of a whole lot. I wonder if anyone who does their research ever came to the same conclusion as the experts who write books upon books on the subject. Because then they'd truly be a fucking genius. Yeah, when nutjobs claim they do their own research, that usually means scouring Google for articles that confirm their own bias, rather than actual research. Googling articles is too much, usually it's a YouTube video. Hell, with fucking Zoomers half the time it's an Insta story or a TikTok. Not joking, do your research. Conspiracy TikTok is big. Yeah, that's a yikes for me. I'm almost 26 and it's crazy how in my lifetime we went from 0 social media, barely any internet, to MySpace, then Facebook conspiracy theorists, to 15-year-olds on TikTok telling people what to believe. Mask off. Guys that had nothing to do with COVID. That thread was hilarious. It was straight up crazy, dude, lol. Didn't Nets fans swear that him being at a Sparks game or whatever was definitive proof that he's vaccinated? That's hilarious to me. Like, did they really think a huge celebrity can't skirt the rules? I'm not saying Kyrie is vaccinated or not, but it's ridiculous to act like him being at an event that requires vaccination to be proof he's vaccinated. Also, I've been to a few events where they accepted either a vaccination card or a recent negative COVID test. It's not that he skirted the rules, it's that the rules also allowed a negative test as an option. I didn't even realize until I read that other guy's post further down that Nets fans were lying about the WNBA games requiring vaccinations. I, for one, am shocked. /r/NBA must actually be shocked, judging by how many Nets bandwagoners were explaining in the other thread why Kyrie is vaxxed and suggesting he isn't is just being a hater. I remember in some other threads people were saying he was vaccinated because he went to a WNBA game, but it turned out you didn't actually have to be vaccinated to attend. Hilarious how a bunch of people were saying shit like /r/NBA just likes to hate on Kyrie, or typical of people to assume shit about Kyrie. I don't want to hate on Kyrie, I'm just saying I'm not surprised at all that he's not vaccinated, lol. I'll hate on him, he's a turd. The most interesting passage to me. The league's memos, which also state that a player who misses games as a result of his inability to comply with local law might subject him to a reduction of his compensation by the NBA or his team, have changed some minds, according to league sources. This is the first time I've seen concrete reporting that the league is considering not paying players for games they can't play due to local regulations. Good for the NBA. The same thing is going to happen in the NHL as well, and I wish the NFL was also like this. If you make a choice and it affects your availability, why should you still be paid the same? Getting COVID despite being vaxxed is bad luck and nobody would blame you for that. But catch it due to not being vaxxed, or miss time because of being a close contact. That's on you, honestly. Good for the NBA. The same thing is going to happen in the NHL as well, and I wish the NFL was also like this. If you make a choice and it affects your availability, why should you still be paid the same? I think the NFL's fine. The team that caused the COVID outbreak, if they have any unvaxxed policy, is pretty good, but I am not super in tune with how the NFL is handling Thiggins, so I might be wrong. Their contracts are very largely not guaranteed, so the threat of a team cutting you is much more pronounced than in basketball, makes people fall in line much more quickly. Today on, we all saw it coming. Last-minute expansion franchise, the Jacksonville Virus. Starting backcourt, Kyrie Irving and Andrew Wiggins. Who rounds out the roster? John Stockton is the president and GM of the franchise. Arg just found out Stockton is an anti-vax guy. WTF. Stockton's an anti-vaxxer? Damn it. Oh well, at least I still got Malone to look up to. A lot of kids have looked up to Malone. According to multiple league sources, the Pope is still Catholic. In-4 enhanced auto-moderation tool. This should go over well. Anyone who listens to Kyrie talk and says he's intelligent needs a lobotomy. Kyrie is the guy who says a lot of big words that ultimately does not mean anything. NBA superstar, world be flat, refuses to get vaccinated. Cites Illuminati mind control as a reason. More on 7 at Fox Sports NYC. Complete fucking idiot acts like a complete fucking idiot. No one should be shocked. NBA Twitter pages furiously writing essays about how Kyrie is a misunderstood genius. Kyrie is so boring. Him not getting vaccinated is the most predictable thing ever. Dude literally follows every dumbass cliche and thinks he's a free thinker. Not surprised. Only time he ever won was when Bron came back. Dude's a nutjob. He's a flat earther, of course he's anti-vax as well. I've yet to meet a flat earther that wasn't anti-vax. Conspiracy mindsets are drawn to both. This is how it is with conspiracy theorists now, it's all or nothing with these morons. When presented with an opportunity to appear stupid, when does Kyrie not take it? Shooters shoot. Wow, so shocking that a moron believes something moronic. It's okay, Kyrie only thinks outside the box. Cat should be allowed to hip check any anti-vaxxers in the league without penalty. I wondered if the Wiggins/Cat relationship was tight enough that Cat has reached out to him about it. They were very close in Minnesota. Don't know about now with Wiggins vaccine bullshit. I pray Cat just talked to him and told him like that is so. Sad, but I can't blame Cat if he decided to pretend Wiggins is dead to him, because that is a horrible thing. I'm just here for the comments. Not surprising. Sean Marks said he was confident that the team will be fully vaccinated by the start of the season. Hopefully Kyrie gets his. The most frustrating part about Kyrie to me is that he's done a lot of good, too, like more than the majority of pro ballers. He's just also a moron that seems to think being a pro baller validates all his moronic opinions, so the focus will never be on the good that he does do. He does good for the public, but shit like this doesn't just take away focus from the good he does. It also actively harms the public. Being an influence to school kids and spreading anti-science conspiracies hurts the public discourse. Not getting his vaccine is a bad influence and can directly hurt other people as well as himself. Maybe I didn't word my initial comment well, cause I agree with you 100%. I was just trying to say that he's frustrating because despite everything his heart seems like it's in the right place. I can't imagine being that selfish and not getting a simple shot, especially when it's literally part of your job requirement. Hey, that's kind of harsh. Maybe it's not selfishness at all. He could really just be that stupid. He's a flat earther lol. What do you think? Even worse, he's a flat earther who flies on planes on a near daily basis.
Ha 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 ha. Has someone else's problem.
Of course. Deleted. Kyrie grew up in the next town over from me and was a year ahead of my sister at the same school. This area is educated as hell, his constant bullshit makes absolutely no sense to me. Nah, it makes tons of sense. Some people, especially those that consider themselves smarter than those around them, like to be contrarian just for the sake of being a contrarian. Other times they're just addicted to attention and drama because they feel like they don't get enough to begin with despite their intelligence. Also, just because you're well educated doesn't necessarily mean you are wise either. Being educated for many people, Just means being more confident in the bullshit ideas you hold. Bruh, imagine being so afraid of a vaccine that you refuse to help yourself and protect others just to make a point. Just thinking about the malice at the Palace doc, with all the former Pacers ruining their lost chance at a championship, now thinking about the Nets losing theirs for an even dumber reason. Kyrie Irving is going to become Amish to avoid vaccination. He will show up to games in horse and buggy and start speaking Pennsylvania Dutch. The NBA is in uncharted waters. They can't have Kyrie and Wiggins missing half of the season because the guys are scared of a little poke. They can't override state governments either. So what they're going to do? I mean, they can do without Wiggins, and Kyrie missing half of all games is standard practice at this point. Nets should dump him first opportunity they get. He will only get more crazy. Maury, Ben is vaxxed and I will inject him with 2 more doses in his sleep if that's of interest. Dosing him while asleep is the only way to get him to take shots.